Maya stared at the positive pregnancy test in her trembling hands, then at the threatening note that had just been slipped under her door. A child makes you vulnerable. Congratulations on signing your baby's death warrant. Someone knew she was pregnant before she'd even told Ji-hoon, and they were already threatening her unborn child. This is the beginning of Maya and Ji-hoon's most dangerous chapter yet. If you want to see how they protect their family, hit that subscribe button right now, and let's jump into this explosive part 3. Maya had suspected for 2 weeks, but kept making excuses to avoid the truth. Now, holding the test in her hands, reality crashed down on her. She was going to be a mother, in one of the most dangerous situations imaginable. But the threatening note changed everything. Someone was watching her closely enough to know about the pregnancy almost immediately. Maya's hands shook as she called Ji-hoon, who was in a business meeting across town. I need you home. Now. It's urgent. Ji-hoon heard the fear in her voice and left immediately, his security team rushing him back. When Maya showed him the pregnancy test, Ji-hoon's face transformed with joy, but only for a moment before he saw the note. His expression went ice cold, the old dangerous Ji-hoon flickering to life. Who delivered this? Maya shook her head. I don't know. It was just there when I came out of the bathroom. Ji-hoon immediately locked down their home, called his entire security team, and began reviewing camera footage. But whoever left the note had avoided all cameras perfectly. They were dealing with a professional. That night, as they lay in bed surrounded by bodyguards in the house, Ji-hoon held Maya close. I won't let anything happen to you or our baby. I promise. Maya wanted to believe him, but fear gnawed at her. She'd faced death threats before, but this was different. This wasn't just about her anymore. She was responsible for a tiny life growing inside her. Ji-hoon, she whispered. What if going legitimate wasn't enough? What if your past catches up with us anyway? Ji-hoon had no answer, because he was terrified of the same thing. Ji-hoon's investigation into the threat led to a shocking discovery. The note's handwriting matched someone from his past he thought was dead. His younger brother, Minjun, who supposedly died in gang violence 7 years ago. It's impossible, Ji-hoon said, staring at the analysis. I saw his body. I buried him. But Kong, examining the evidence, looked troubled. Boss, what if it wasn't him you buried? What if someone helped him fake his death? The implications were devastating. If Minjun was alive, why had he hidden for 7 years? And why surface now to threaten Maya's baby? Ji-hoon decided they needed answers, so he did something he'd sworn never to do. He reopened his brother's grave. What they found inside confirmed their worst fears. The body wasn't Minjun. It was a homeless man of similar build. Minjun had faked his death, and everyone had believed it. Maya watched Ji-hoon process this betrayal, seeing the pain etched on his face. Why would he do this? Fake his death and let you suffer. Ji-hoon's voice was hollow. Minjun always hated our father's empire. He wanted out, but father wouldn't let him leave. Maybe faking his death was the only way. But that didn't explain the threat. 2 days later, they got their answer when Minjun called Ji-hoon's private number. Hello, brother. Surprised I'm alive. Ji-hoon's hand tightened on the phone. Why, Minjun? Why let me think you were dead for 7 years? Minjun's laugh was bitter. Because I needed to escape father's shadow. But now you're building something new, something better. And I can't let you succeed where father failed. This family is cursed, Ji-hoon. Everything we touch turns to blood and violence. Your American wife thinks she can change that, but she's wrong. That baby will be just another victim of the CO family curse. The line went dead, leaving Ji-hoon and Maya staring at each other in horror. They weren't just fighting an enemy. They were fighting Ji-hoon's own brother. The threats escalated over the next week. Anonymous messages, near-miss accidents, and constant surveillance. Ji-hoon wanted to hide Maya in a secure location until they found Minjun, but Maya refused. I won't live in fear and I won't hide. That's not who I am. They argued for hours until finally Maya made a shocking announcement. I'm going back to America until the baby is born. Not because I'm running away, but because I'm being strategic. Your brother can't threaten me as easily there, and my mother can help with the pregnancy. Ji-hoon looked devastated. You're leaving me? Maya grabbed his face. I'm protecting our child. There's a difference. You stay here, find your brother, and end this threat. I'll be safe with my family. Then we come back together stronger. Ji-hoon hated the plan, but couldn't argue with the logic. Mrs. Seo surprisingly agreed with Maya. She's thinking like a mother now, protecting her child above everything else. That's exactly what she should do. The night before Maya's flight, Ji-hoon held her close. What if something happens while you're gone? What if I can't protect you from across the world? Maya smiled sadly. Then I'll protect myself. I've done it before. But Ji-hoon, promise me something. Don't become the old you while I'm gone. Don't let your brother pull you back into darkness. Ji-hoon promised, but Maya saw the doubt in his eyes. At the airport, their goodbye was heartbreaking. As Maya's plane took off, she looked down at Seoul, wondering if she'd made the right choice. In her gut, something told her that leaving Ji-hoon alone to face his brother was a mistake. But it was too late now. The plane was already climbing into the clouds, taking her and their unborn child to safety, or so she hoped. With Maya gone, Ji-hoon threw everything into finding Minjun. What he discovered shook him to his core. Minjun had spent 7 years building his own criminal network, specifically designed to destroy everything the Seo family had created. He'd allied with all of Ji-hoon's old enemies, including former members of Lee Tae-min's organization. Minjun's plan was elaborate. Systematically destroy Ji-hoon's legitimate businesses, frame him for new crimes, and force him back into the criminal underworld. He wants to prove that we can never escape father's legacy, Kong explained. He's trying to destroy you to save you from yourself. Ji-hoon finally tracked Minjun to an abandoned warehouse where they'd played as children. The confrontation was explosive. Why are you doing this? Ji-hoon demanded. I built something better, something father never could. Why destroy it? Minjun's eyes were wild with pain and anger. Because it's a lie. You think you've changed? You think marrying some American woman and opening hotels makes you different? You're still father's son. The violence, the blood, it's in our DNA. That baby Maya's carrying? It'll be cursed just like us. Ji-hoon's fists clenched. You're wrong. Maya showed me that we can break the cycle. We can be better. Minjun pulled out a gun. Then prove it, brother. I'm going to force you to choose. I'm going to attack everything you love until the old Ji-hoon comes back. The one who solved problems with violence. The one who wasn't weak. The brothers stared at each other across the warehouse. One trying to escape their father's shadow, the other convinced escape was impossible. I won't fight you, Minjun, Ji-hoon said quietly. You're my brother. I love you. Minjun's hand shook on the gun. Love. Father loved us too. And look what that love created, monsters. He fired, but deliberately missed. Next time I won't miss. Next time I'm coming for your wife and child. Then you'll have no choice but to be who you really are. As Minjun disappeared, Ji-hoon realized Maya had been right. Leaving him alone was a mistake. Because without her, the darkness was creeping back in. In Chicago, Maya tried to settle into a normal life, but nothing felt right. Her mother fussed over her pregnancy, while Jennifer helped prepare a nursery. But Maya couldn't shake the feeling that Ji-hoon needed her. Her instincts were confirmed when she started receiving coded messages from Kong. Ji-hoon was changing, becoming harder and colder as he hunted his brother. The man she'd married was disappearing, replaced by the crime boss he used to be. I have to go back, Maya announced to her shocked family. Her mother grabbed her arm. Maya, you're 5 months pregnant. You can't go back to that war zone. But Maya was determined. Mom, I left to protect our baby, but I'm realizing that the biggest threat isn't physical danger. It's Ji-hoon losing himself. Our baby needs a father, not a monster. I have to bring him back from the edge. Jennifer tried reasoning with her, but Maya had made up her mind. She booked a flight back to Seoul, against everyone's advice. On the plane, Maya felt the baby kick for the first time, a reminder of why this mattered so much. When she landed in Seoul, Kong was waiting with devastating news. Mrs. Seo, the boss has done something terrible. In trying to find Minjun, he's hurt innocent people. He's becoming exactly what his brother said he would. Maya's heart sank. Take me to him. Now. She found Ji-hoon in his office, surrounded by maps and intelligence reports, his eyes hollow and cold. When he saw her, shock registered on his face. Maya? You shouldn't be here. It's not safe. Maya walked right up to him, ignoring the bodyguards. Look at me, Ji-hoon. Really look at me. Do you recognize the woman standing in front of you? Ji-hoon's expression cracked slightly. Maya, I'm doing this for us. For our family. Maya shook her head. No, you're doing this because you've forgotten who you are. The Ji-hoon I married would never hurt innocent people. The Ji-hoon I married chose the hard path of peace over the easy path of violence. She placed his hand on her pregnant belly. Feel that. That's your child. What kind of father do you want to be? Maya didn't waste time. She called an emergency meeting with Mrs. Seo, Kong, and all of Ji-hoon's trusted advisors. We're staging an intervention. Ji-hoon is spiraling, and if we don't stop it now, we'll lose him forever. Mrs. Seo was hesitant. My son is strong. He can handle this. But Maya stood firm. Mrs. Seo, you watched your husband become a monster because no one stopped him. Are you going to make the same mistake with your son? The words hit hard. Mrs. Seo's eyes filled with tears. What do you need me to do? Together, they confronted Ji-hoon in his home. One by one, his people told him how he'd changed. Kong spoke about orders that crossed ethical lines. Business partners talked about feeling threatened. Even his mother spoke up. You're becoming your father, Ji-hoon. The man I was too weak to stop. But Maya is stronger than I was. Listen to her before it's too late. Ji-hoon listened to it all, his face getting harder with each word. Finally, he exploded. You don't understand. Minjun won't stop. He'll kill Maya, kill our baby, destroy everything I've built. I have to stop him, no matter what it takes. Maya stepped forward calmly. Even if stopping him means losing yourself? Even if it means our child grows up with a father who's everything you swore you'd never be. Her words hung in the air. Ji-hoon's anger collapsed into anguish. I don't know how to fight him without becoming him. He knows all my weaknesses. He knows how to push me back into the darkness. Maya took his hands. Then don't fight him alone. Let me help you. Let all of us help you. You don't have to carry this burden by yourself anymore. For the first time in weeks, something shifted in Ji-hoon's eyes. The ice melted slightly, and the man Maya loved flickered back to life. I'm scared, Maya. I'm scared I'm not strong enough to break the cycle. Maya smiled through her tears. That's why you have me. I'm strong enough for both of us when you're not. That's what marriage means. We take turns being strong. Maya convinced Ji-hoon to try a different approach. Instead of hunting Minjun with violence, they would try to understand his pain. Maya hired a private investigator to track Minjun's 7 years of hiding. What they discovered was heartbreaking. Minjun hadn't just faked his death to escape. He'd been forced to watch, powerless, as their father ordered the death of the woman he loved, a girl their father deemed unsuitable for the Seo family. The trauma had broken Minjun's mind. He blamed himself for being too weak to save her, and he blamed the Seo family legacy for destroying the only good thing in his life. He's not trying to destroy you, Maya realized. He's trying to destroy the Seo legacy itself. He thinks if he can prove the family is cursed, he can finally justify his own failure to save the woman he loved. Ji-hoon was shaken by this revelation. Father killed someone Minjun loved? I never knew. Mrs. Seo admitted she'd known, but had been too afraid to intervene. Your father was a monster, and I was a coward. Minjun has every right to hate this family. Maya formulated a plan. We need to show Minjun that the Seo legacy can be different. That love doesn't have to die in this family. That the curse can be broken. She reached out to Minjun through coded messages, offering to meet, alone. Ji-hoon initially refused, but Maya was insistent. He won't hurt a pregnant woman. And if I'm right about his pain, seeing me might help him understand that your marriage is different from your father's. Against everyone's advice, Maya met Minjun at a quiet park. He arrived looking gaunt and haunted, his gun visible but not drawn. Why did you come, Mrs. Seo? Trying to save your husband from his own brother? Maya shook her head. I came to apologize. On behalf of a family that destroyed the woman you loved. I came to tell you that Ji-hoon isn't your father, and your nephew or niece won't grow up in the same darkness you did. For the first time, Minjun's hard exterior cracked and tears filled his eyes. Minjun collapsed onto the park bench, his shoulders shaking with 7 years of suppressed grief. Her name was Yuki. She was Japanese-Korean, worked in a bookstore, loved poetry. Father said she was beneath our family. He had her killed and made it look like an accident. Maya sat beside him carefully, her hand protectively on her belly. Tell me about her. For an hour, Minjun talked. About how Yuki had seen good in him despite his family, how they'd planned to run away together, how he'd found out about her death the day after it happened. I confronted Father. He just laughed and said I was weak for loving someone so common. That's when I knew I had to die, at least to him. Maya listened without judgment. Finally, she spoke. Minjun, what happened to Yuki was evil. Your father was evil. But Ji-hoon isn't. He rejected everything your father stood for. He chose me even though his whole world told him I was wrong for him. He's breaking the curse you think is unbreakable. Minjun looked at her with tormented eyes. But what if he's just pretending? What if the darkness is still there, waiting? Maya met his gaze steadily. The darkness is always there. In all of us. The difference is choosing not to let it win. Ji-hoon chooses that every single day. And when our baby is born, we'll teach them the same thing, that they can choose who they become. Something shifted in Minjun's expression. You really believe that? That we're not defined by our blood? Maya nodded. I believe it with everything I am. And I think part of you believes it too, or you wouldn't have let Ji-hoon live all these months when you had plenty of chances to kill him. Minjun was silent for a long moment. Then he pulled out a folder. These are all my plans to destroy Ji-hoon's empire. Every attack, every scheme. Take them. Help him prepare. Maya took the folder carefully. What will you do now? Minjun stood, looking lighter somehow. I don't know. But maybe I'll try to believe what you believe. That the curse can be broken. As he walked away, Maya called out, Minjun, your nephew or niece should know their uncle. When you're ready, our door is open. Minjun paused but didn't turn around. He just nodded once before disappearing into the crowd. Minjun's information revealed a shocking truth. There was a third player in the game. A corrupt prosecutor named Han Sang-woo had been manipulating both brothers, feeding Minjun false information to keep the conflict alive. Han had been one of their father's victims years ago and wanted revenge on the entire Seo family. He's been playing us, Ji-hoon realized, studying the documents. Every attack I thought was Minjun was actually Han using my brother as a scapegoat. Maya's strategic mind kicked in. Then we need to expose him. But we need Minjun's help to do it. Getting the brothers to work together was Maya's toughest challenge yet. The first meeting was tense, with years of pain and betrayal hanging between them. I don't trust you, Minjun said to Ji-hoon. And I don't forgive you for becoming everything father wanted you to be. Ji-hoon's jaw tightened. I don't forgive you for faking your death and letting me grieve for 7 years. But Maya's right, we're stronger together than apart. And Han needs to pay for using our pain against us. Slowly, painfully, the brothers began working together. They planned an elaborate sting operation to catch Han in the act of orchestrating violence. Maya coordinated everything, despite being 7 months pregnant and exhausted. Mrs. Seo watched in awe as Maya brought her fractured family back together. You're remarkable, daughter. Your healing wounds I thought were permanent. The trap worked perfectly. Han was caught red-handed ordering an attack and was arrested with overwhelming evidence. As police took him away, he screamed at the Seo brothers. You're still your father's sons. This changes nothing. But looking at Ji-hoon and Minjun standing together, not as enemies but as brothers beginning to heal, Maya knew Han was wrong. Everything had changed. That night, the extended Seo family gathered for dinner. Ji-hoon, Maya, Mrs. Seo, Minjun, Kong, and Jennifer who'd flown in for support. It was awkward and emotional, but it was a start. As Maya felt the baby kick, she realized this was what breaking generational curses looked like. Messy, painful, but ultimately worth it. Maya was in her 8th month when complications arose. The stress of recent events had triggered early labor. Ji-hoon rushed her to the hospital, terrified. It's too soon. The baby isn't ready. The doctors worked to stop the labor, and after hours of tension, they succeeded. But Maya had to stay on complete bed rest for the final month. Ji-hoon barely left her side, working from the hospital room, his entire empire on pause. You should go handle business, Maya said weakly. I'm fine here. Ji-hoon shook his head. Nothing is more important than you and our baby. The business can wait. During those weeks, something beautiful happened. Minjun started visiting, tentatively at first, then more regularly. He'd bring books and read to Maya and the baby. Mrs. Seo came daily with home-cooked meals. Even Kong showed up with baby clothes he'd awkwardly picked out himself. Maya's hospital room became a gathering place for their unusual family. One evening, Minjun spoke quietly to Ji-hoon while they thought Maya was sleeping. You know, I hated you for so long. But watching you with her, you really did break the cycle. You found what I lost. Ji-hoon's voice was emotional. I'm sorry father took Yuki from you. I'm sorry I didn't know, didn't protect you. Minjun was silent for a moment. Maybe you can honor her memory by being a good father. Breaking the cycle for real. That would mean something. Maya smiled to herself, pretending to sleep. Healing was happening slowly but surely. Finally, the day came. Maya went into real labor, and this time there was no stopping it. Ji-hoon held her hand through every contraction, every push, every moment of pain. When their daughter was born, healthy, beautiful, and screaming with powerful lungs, the entire family cried. Ji-hoon cut the umbilical cord with shaking hands, tears streaming down his face. "She's perfect," he whispered. "She's absolutely perfect." Maya, exhausted but radiant, smiled. "What should we name her?" Ji-hoon looked at his brother, then back at Maya. "Yuki. Her name is Yuki. For the woman we lost and the future we're building." Minjun, standing in the doorway, broke down sobbing. Little Yuki was 3 months old when the final threat emerged. A remaining member of Lee Tae-min's organization, seeking revenge, planned a massive attack on the hospital nursery where Yuki and other babies were kept. Intelligence caught wind of it just hours before execution. Ji-hoon wanted to move Yuki immediately, but Maya had a different idea. "No. We end this. Tonight. No more running, no more hiding. We protect all these babies, not just ours." She devised a plan using herself as bait while Ji-hoon and Minjun, working together, would capture the attackers. Mrs. Seo argued it was too dangerous, but Maya was firm. "This is what I do. I stand up. I don't bow down. Not even for safety." The trap was set. Maya made herself visible with Yuki, seemingly unprotected. When the attackers came, they walked right into an ambush. Ji-hoon's legal security team, working with police, arrested everyone involved. But the leader, a man named Cho, managed to get past the first line of defense. He burst into the nursery where Maya stood holding Yuki, gun raised. "You destroyed everything." Cho screamed. "Boss Tae-min is dead because of you." Maya didn't flinch. She stood between Cho and the other babies, Yuki protected in her arms. "Those babies have nothing to do with your war. Neither does my daughter. If you want revenge, take it on me. But you leave these children alone." Her voice was steel, commanding, powerful, unafraid. Cho hesitated, his gun wavering. In that moment, Ji-hoon and Minjun burst in together, taking him down before he could fire. As police dragged Cho away, he stared at Maya in something like awe. "You really don't bow down to anyone, do you?" Maya adjusted Yuki in her arms. "Not to you. Not to fear. Not to anyone who threatens innocent lives. Never." Later, as the Seo family gathered in relief, Ji-hoon pulled Maya close. "You're the bravest person I've ever known. But please, no more using yourself as bait. My heart can't take it." Maya laughed tiredly. "Deal. I think I've proven my point enough times." 5 years passed. Maya and Ji-hoon's empire of legitimate businesses thrived, employing thousands and helping communities across Asia. Little Yuki grew into a fierce, intelligent child who spoke 3 languages and refused to back down from anything, just like her mother. Minjun had found peace, running a foundation for victims of organized crime, honoring Yuki's memory by helping others escape violence. Mrs. Seo had transformed too, becoming an advocate for women in business, finally finding her own voice. On Yuki's 5th birthday, the family gathered in the garden where Ji-hoon and Maya first kissed. "Tell me the story again, Mama," little Yuki demanded. "About when you met Daddy." Maya smiled, pulling her daughter onto her lap. "Well, baby, Daddy was a very powerful man who everyone was afraid of. But when Mama met him, she wasn't scared at all." Yuki's eyes went wide. "Because you're brave." Maya kissed her daughter's forehead. "Because I knew who I was. And I never let anyone, not fear, not pressure, not even love, make me into someone I wasn't." Ji-hoon added, "And your mama changed Daddy's whole life. She showed him how to be strong in a different way. Not with fear or power, but with courage and love." Minjun, now Uncle Junjun to Yuki, chimed in. "Your mama broke a curse that hurt our family for generations. She saved us all." Yuki thought about this seriously. "When I grow up, I want to be like Mama. I won't bow down to anyone either." Maya and Ji-hoon exchanged proud looks. "That's right, baby," Maya said. "You be strong, be kind, be brave, and never let anyone tell you who you should be." As the sun set over Seoul, Maya reflected on her journey. She'd come to this city broken and desperate, never imagining she'd fall in love with a crime boss, transform an empire, heal a fractured family, and raise a daughter who embodied everything she believed in. Ji-hoon wrapped his arm around her waist. "What are you thinking about, Mrs. Seo?" Maya leaned into him. "I'm thinking about how refusing to bow down was the best decision I ever made. Because it led me here, to you, to Yuki, to this beautiful, complicated family. I'm thinking that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand firm and let the world change around you instead of letting it change you." Ji-hoon kissed her temple. "You changed my world, Maya Williams Seo. You changed everything." As little Yuki ran through the garden laughing, chased by her Uncle Minjun, with grandmother Seo watching proudly, Maya smiled. This was her legacy, not just surviving in a dangerous world, but transforming it into something better. Teaching the next generation that true power isn't about making others bow down, but about standing up with such conviction that you inspire others to stand with you. And that's the complete saga of Maya Williams Seo, the woman who refused to bow down and changed an entire empire. Did this ending satisfy you? Do you think Yuki will grow up to be as fierce as her mother? Should we do a spin-off series about Yuki's story when she grows up? Let us know in the comments. If this 3-part journey inspired you, moved you, or made you believe in the power of standing firm in who you are, please hit that like button. Share this entire series with everyone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our next powerful story. Thank you for being part of Maya's incredible journey from Chicago to Seoul, from brokenness to building an empire, from standing alone to leading a family. Remember, never bow down to anyone or anything that doesn't deserve your respect. Stay strong, stay true, and we'll see you in the next story.